Good morning, Keller Williams. Wow, it looks like it's going to be a great day here in Fredericton. I hope the same thing for everyone around the province. Um, the nice weather brings a lot of concerns, I'm sure, for the provincial government and the people that are trying to flatten the curve. So if you're out and about, make sure that you're practicing social distancing to the T. And we're going to go through the report here in a few minutes. I think that it looks brighter. It's not that we're over by any means, but it looks a lot brighter than it did maybe a week ago. In regards to today, I may ramble a little bit because I picked up a few notes that I think is worthwhile talking about yesterday in the OP call. And we talk about hope for the best and play for the worst, meaning that now's the time that we need to be fully engaged with our database and our people, whether they're buyers or sellers or potential to be both. As you know, and I've said this before, real estate's a contact sport, and if it's a contact sport, it means that you as a realtor needs to start making contacts. And I think that over the last three and a half to 4 weeks, Scott and I and the rest of the leadership has provided you with many opportunities to be in that contact sport arena. We always talked about what's the new norm. Well, there's a lot of new norms coming, and what we're used to in the past may be significantly different of how we practice real estate in the future. So if we look at the following slides, these are slides that I've taken from either the provincial or the federal government, and it's Canada's COVID-19 economic response plan, and it includes links and details. So when you get this morning, all the links are going to be connected. You'll be able to click on them, make application if you so desire, find out whether you even qualify to make application. All of it is going to be at your fingertips. I've got a number of calls on this yesterday, and I'm not in a position to say, yes, you qualify, or no, you don't qualify. What I'm suggesting that you do is look at the material, call your accountant, call your lawyer, or apply, and if you don't qualify, they'll tell you you don't qualify. So the areas of support is support for individuals, support for businesses, and support for industries. And again, if there's information that you have here that that you'd like to share with your family members, your friends, your colleagues outside of Keller Williams, please share it. It might be a piece of information that might be valuable to them. Next. So the economic response plan, support for individuals and families, people facing unemployment, people who are sick, quarantined, or in direct self-isolation, people who are unable to work, seniors, students, and recent grads. All of this information is here. It'll be provided to you. It's hyperlinked. You can just click on it and go and investigate it. Support for businesses, avoiding layoffs and rehiring of employees, reducing and defer payments, access to credit, supporting financial stability, support for self-employed individuals. That's an area where a lot of us can go have a look, because as realtors, we are perceived or looked at as self-employed. And support for industries, again, increased credit availability for agriculture, fisheries, and agriculture, support for the airports, and support for broadcasters, and the same thing applies to those particular folks. Here's the update for COVID-19, the case map. We're doing, as you see, we're doing very well. Not out of the woods by no means, so don't take that as back to business as normal, because it's not normal. But we have 103 cases, 73 active, 30 recovered, and we have 7 people hospitalized, of which 3 are in ICU. When you look at these numbers, and you look at the numbers for the rest of the province and pretty much for the rest of the country, I think it's a big shout out and a thank you to the health department, Dr. Russell, and the Blaine Higgs team with this all-encompassing party that brought this and did the right things early, that we slowed this thing down. I really believe that the next 2 weeks are going to be the most critical weeks. They've got more testing packages, so there'll be more testing done in these next 2 weeks. And as a result of that, we're either going to see a spike or we're going to see a plateau. I'm hoping for the plateau, and I think you would be too. If we can stay our distance and do what we need to do over the next 2 weeks, I would think that we might see a slowdown and a start of a flattening of the curve, and then our new normal will start somewhere by the end of April or into May. If this spikes and it gets out of control, then who knows how long it's going to be. So I ask you to very, very respectfully to do what you're doing and keep doing it until we're told otherwise not to do it. So here's I thought this was interesting. The COVID-19 has an average symptoms timeline of 22 days. As you can see from the chart, day 1 is just fever and fatigue. Day 2 starts to get difficulty breathing. In day 7, those still with breathing problems are admitted to the hospital. In day 8, acute respiratory distress. Day 10, they're in intensive care. Day 12, the fever ends. Day 13, shortness of breath stops. Day 18 and a half, death for those worst infected. And in day 22, the illness finishes. So it's a 22-day ordeal, and I imagine for some of these people that are facing this, those are probably the longest and the most painful 22 days of their life. We're, I think, very fortunate so far in the province of New Brunswick. We have recorded no deaths to COVID-19. So we isolate ourselves so that when we get back together again, no one is missing. That's our goal. That's what we're about. That's why we've started this process probably 3 weeks or more now of isolating our employees, making sure that they have a good environment to work at home. Most of our agents are working at home. Even our families over the last few days have decided to isolate each other from each other. So, for instance, the boys are gone home and we won't see them probably other than phone and FaceTime until this is over. We want to do our part, and we are very, very proud of the people at Keller Williams for doing their part. So your wish is our command, and we talk about we talk about this a lot. Keller Williams has just spent over the last 3 years $1 billion on technology. And one of the areas that we talk about a lot is command. Command for your business, command for your database, command for what you do in regards to that contact sport, and it is all in this. I've had many, many agents either text, call, or email myself or Scott or some of the other leadership saying how proud they were of the way that we're handling this and the way that we're providing great level of education and the caring aspect that we do. It's very easy for us to get up in the morning, and it's an honor and a privilege to go to work for people such as yourself that care about what you do and care about where this company is going. And it's very, very rewarding for us to be able to do this for you because we care about you even more than you think. So we look at the TAPS audit. I believe now there is well over half, 3/4 of the agents that have made an appointment with David to go through the TAPS schedule or the criteria so that we can find out where people are in regards to the use of technology and where they would like to be. There's, I believe, 50 people that have not, I repeat, have not signed up and slotted themselves in for a 1-hour appointment with David. Scott and I have invested some good money and some great time and effort to find a caliber of David to bring to you to help you grow your business. I would like to ask you on behalf of myself and Scott to jump on the phone or jump on your computer and book that time between now and Friday. I'd like to see this fully booked out before Friday. If not, then I guess the next call that you'll be getting is from Scott and I to find out why we're not signing up. It's important for our market center to get this process done as quickly as we can. So if you're not signed up, please do so before Friday of this week. Again, I just had this chart up there last week just to show the chain of command. If you have any technical difficulties, any computer issues, any issues with command or opportunities or referrals or whatever, your contact person is David Whalen. David has not been here that long, but he has a great command of the technology tools that Keller Williams is rolling out. If he doesn't have the answer, you can bet your boots he'll find it for you. If it's a technical issue that's to do with Keller Williams International and in a design hiccup, then David will bring it to Jill, and Jill will forward it to Keller Williams International, and within a day or two, that problem should be rectified or completely solved. Now, this is the forms, and I just wanted to say that I've got a number of agents in the system or in the province that text or email saying the forms look awesome, the forms are great, the forms has lots of detail, and they're good to go. Thanks to Jack Carr. Jack spent a little bit of time, I'm sure him and Cheryl or maybe their whole team, looked at these forms and made some constructive suggestions, of which I looked at, and we're making the changes on those suggestions, not anything crazy, just a little bit of wordsmithing, and to ensure that we're following the New Brunswick and not just the Canada directive. So those changes will be made today. They will go out today to you. These will be used in regards to whether you're getting a consent form for a listing, whether it's the listing brokerage consent form, cooperating brokerage if somebody's looking at showing one of your houses, and there's one there for the buyer. Somebody asked me this morning that if somebody has one of these forms filled out from another company, is that good enough? No, we want these filled out because they're a lot more detailed than the other ones, and this provides us a good tracking mechanism. So I ask you to use these forms and going forward, and you should have them by lunchtime today. So again, command training and resource. We keep putting this slide up because it's very important. It's a fabric of our well-being. This is all the training that's going on, whether it's with KW Connects, Answers, KWU, the daily morning training with Jill. That, I've been on that. At the end of this week, this will be 3 weeks that Jill has gone from the very start of command right into opportunities, talked about referrals, talked about designs, talked about everything, right from the rudimentary level down. He will finish that up by this Thursday or Friday, and then he will start Monday at 11:30 going back and doing the same thing over the next 3 weeks. If you have not been on Jill's Zoom call for 11:30, it's one that, especially if you have not been into command for any length of time. And I've been on that for almost 3 weeks, and I'm very proud when I go on there to go down the list and see the number of our own people that are representative right around this province on that 11:30 call. And then at 4 o'clock, Jill has a question and answer. So if you're on his call at 11:30 and you get off the call and you're doing things in command or opportunities or referrals or whatever, and you had a question or you're blocked or you're stymied or whatever, you can go on at 4 o'clock and ask him the question. This is what I'm experiencing. How do I get around this, or is it doable or fixable? And within 3 minutes, he goes and shows you on his system exactly what you need to do to fix the problem. And sometimes he fixes the problem because he goes in on your computer and fixes the problem while you're there. An hour and a half of your day with Jill is probably a very productive hour and a half. Today, I just wanted to mention that today at 5 o'clock, Jill is going to be on from 5 to 6 dealing with teams only, not individuals. There's a little bit of difference in the way leads are routed and how you set up teams and who knows what and where and how this whole team is connected. So I'm asking all the teams and their assistants to be on the call today at 5 o'clock. I know it's at the end of the day, but unfortunately when we're trying to scatter this from coast to coast, that's the only available time that works for everyone. So it's 5 o'clock today for teams, and then 5 o'clock tomorrow for teams. So you're going to get actually 2 hours of just working on teams. And those Tuesdays and Wednesday tomorrow? Wednesdays and Thursday, or today and Wednesdays, are going to be days that are going to continue for teams going into the foreseeable future. So I'm expecting that we'll see a lot of teams and a lot of enthusiasm and maybe possibly a lot of questions going to Jill today when we have this particular call. So we thought we'd put a little cartoon up here. If our competitors think they can catch up to Keller Williams Command, they're living in a Delper comic. So here it is. If we work day and night, we can match our competitors' features within 12 months. They're still behind Keller Williams. Are we catching up to where they will be in a year, which is knowledgeable, and where they are now, which is stupid? We're screwed. I got to give Carrie a call. Carrie, you got beautiful hair over on that side. Looks great. One of the things that I got from yesterday in regards to the OP call, we had a 25-minute conversation with our leader, Gary Keller. And Gary says that this pandemic has never ever been seen before, and it'll probably another 100 years before we ever have another one. And for us that are going through this right now, we hope that we never ever have another one of these. So what's in his opinion, what's the world look like after this is over? He says that we're going to do more business digitally. He also thinks that we're going to do meetings a lot differently. He says that before this pandemic started, there was 2 million people that used the product Zoom. Right now, there's over 20 million people using Zoom to communicate with each other on a daily basis. He said, so the way we're doing business may change, and it looks like it already has. So going forward, we may look at some of the stuff that we're doing and continue to move in that direction. So he also talks about real estate as a contact sport. He also talked about that this is probably a recession. He said what ends up happening in a recession that people that have money and businesses that want to invest will come out of the recession and start moving some money and start buying some product. And he says the key to all of this is to make sure that our agents, Keller Williams agents, are fully engulfed in their database and that they are fully involved in doubling down in regards to lead generation right now. And because of who we are and what we stand for, we are very, very, very proud to have each and every one of you on our team. And I want to end by this. Last night I got the report in regards to how we're doing up until the end of March. So how we're doing at the end of the first quarter. And perhaps maybe I'll dig into this just a little bit deeper on our next session. But here's how we're doing in regards to closed units. In closed units for January till March of 2019, we had 389 closed units. January to March 2020, we had 527 closed units, which is an increase of 35%. In volume, we had in 19, $62.3 million in volume, and in 20 we had $81 million in volume, which is an increase of 31%. In listings taken, in 19 we had 615 listings taken, and in 2020 we had 663 listings taken for an increase of 8%. See, I believe that it's business as usual in an unusual way. And I believe that there is still business out there if we practice it the way we're supposed to under these new environmental conditions that we're faced. I believe that when this is over, our spring market is going to be robust. I believe that you as the agents who we're so proud of, that is working in and on your business every day and not looking at this as, well, whenever it's over, and I'll go back to work. That's not what we have at Keller Williams. I know that we have a workforce out there that's doing things every day in and on their business, and as a result of those, these numbers are showing up. So on behalf of Scott and myself, we are extremely, extremely proud to be part of an organization, and it's a privilege for us to go to work on your behalf every day. And even with this, is that we really, truly care about you to the highest level possible. Thank you. Have a good day. Friday is Good Friday, and I'm sure that because it's for a lot of people a holy day, we're probably going to do live stream, and let's put it this way: we're going to do live stream on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. and not Friday at 9:30. Is it 9:30 the call? Is it 9? Okay. So let me just rephrase this. We're probably going to have a call sometimes between now and Friday. I will ensure that I get back to you. It may be later in the morning on Thursday, or it might be Thursday afternoon, but I'll confirm that with you so that we leave Friday alone this week. Thank you again, and I hope you're having a great day.